thought that was loud. Let me turn that up. There we go. Plin, plin. I don't read. Phone. Did he see? No coffee today. What a day. Right. No. Let's go to... There are many places that I would like to go. First of all, I'm going to go to... here. So I had tempura prawn. I had like a tempura prawn party pack. Not like a pack for a party of people, but just like a bunch of prawns that I suppose were supposed to be given out at a party, but I ate it for dinner. They were good, but there weren't very many of them. But I also got some like prawn tail in my throat. It hurts. How do you run on this game? Oh, yeah. Right, so you. Actually, I need cash. Let me use my stuff. I'll use 6 of these. Lovely. I have an Uchigatana somewhere. Right. Roger's rapier. Could use that, I guess. Oh yeah, I turned it into a bloody Uchigatana. I don't want it to be that. Can I change it? I think so. Let me see if I can change it first, because if it's just a bloody Uchigatana, then I'm in trouble. Okay. I think I did it here. I can't remember. Where did I... Yeah. Bloody Uchigatana. Let's swap. Okay, yeah, so we can have different flavors of Uchigatana. Let's go for a... What's a keen one? That seems to do good stuff. I would love... Yeah, let's just do more damage, I guess. Piercing Fang, Rapture of the Mist. Hey Intel, how you doing? Yeah, let's do that. I don't know what keen is. Oh, but I can change it. I can make it cold. Let's do that instead. We have a cold Uchigatana now. I'm gonna fight Mog with that, I think.
Well, I took you for now.
Let's see if I can level it up anymore. I think they go all the way up to like plus 25. There we go. What do I need now? Smithing Stone 6. I'm good, thank you, Intel. I'm surprisingly well. I had a little nap before stream, otherwise I would have been very tired, but I'm pretty good. I went to the opticians today for the first time in like 8 years. I've not been able to afford to go for ages to get my eyes checked, and I've finally like saved up. And I have got some more glasses on the way. Turns out my my prescription was like mortally out of date. And what else? Oh yeah, I'm doing like, you know, like when you get contact lenses but you've never had them before. So I've got a few of those kinds of things. So I'm finally going to be able to see. They even fixed these glasses that I've had for about 8 years. These have been like really loose since I put them in the washing machine about 6 times, and they tighten them up for me so they don't fall off my face when I'm not wearing headphones anymore. It's amazing. I didn't know that you could do that. I can like just walk around with them on without them falling off my head now. I was driving in these and they were falling off my head. It's been a wild few years. But besides that, I finished a script. Hey, Intel Twitties! I finished a script for a video that I plan to kind of hopefully have out this week if possible. I reckon once I actually properly sit down, the worst part of making a video is recording and then editing the script. So like I say the script out loud and then I go through it and I cut out all the bits where you can hear me breathe, cough, burp, because I drink lots of Diet Coke while I speak scripts so that I don't get really dry throat. So I have lots of like really syrupy Diet Coke. Makes me belch all the way through. I have to cut out like 15 burps from every script. And that just cleaning up the script takes like 3 hours. It's so boring. I hate it. Because you can't do anything else. You can't listen to anything else. You can't watch anything else because you have to watch like the sound on it as well. There we go. Oh god. We did. Oh, that was quick. I'm not doing nearly as much damage as I was hoping. I guess the thing about the Uchigatana is that it's got blood build-up. I finished Skywalker Saga. Nice. How did you find it in the end? Was it worth the play or was it too long? Oh, Intel. Thanks for the YouTube sub. I just saw that. I just don't understand why he leads with that. Hey, Kinky, how you doing? Ow! God, that is such a combo, isn't it? Ah! Gotcha! I've never seen him do that one before. Bank! Ow! Definitely not, I respect that. You're like, look, I got everything out of this I needed to get out of it. The reach! Stop! 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 Oh my god. Look, this is our max HP now. Ah! That's terrible. That's a terrible weapon art. Stop! Mog! Sorry. You did, Dave, you did! I was having to go at the Origins map, and we got really far, and I almost got, like, this ultra-rare trophy. And then one of the randos I was playing with just left, and it ended the session for all of us, so I didn't realise that would happen. I was doing the one where you have to, like, free Samantha. But I was also going for the trophy where you have to do like all 4 challenges in one go. And I only had the gens left to do. Because the randos I was with had done the gens without me. Which meant that... Oh, one sec. Ah! Oops. Yeah, the randos I was with had done the gens without me, so I was basically waiting for the gens to get retaken so that I could recap them. But no, they left. I guess they got bored, or their mum was calling them for dinner or something, but I was like, surely, like, you should just let us carry on as a 3, right? But the game was like, no. Oh my god. Hey Shrey, how you doing? But no, I've really been enjoying Zombies. It's long. Like, the Easter eggs are long. I need a weapon up that doesn't cause bleed until, if you can remember any of those. Birch, look, you can't be spreading lies on my server, okay? You telling people that Melania gains health when she hits you? You know, that's slander, that's libel. I'll see you in court. But also how you doing? Nice one, Trey. Oh, which one's that, Dave? Because I've done, like, the 20s America one. I've done Verrucht. I've done Kino. I've done, the one where it's in, like, the original Zombies map. This one might be a go again. I've done Origins. I've done a bit of Shangri-La, but I died before I could get the second trophy on it. But I think you might need 4 for that. There are only 2 of us. I'm good, thank you, Birch. I had a lot of rest today, which was unusual for me. I finished work and just lay in bed for 2 hours, like just looking at the ceiling, thinking about life. I finished a script for a YouTube video. Like, it's all good. Everything's good. Oh my god. Oh, hey, Clammy. Thank you so much! I was so happy with that. I met somebody new on YouTube today called Seb, and they were talking all about... I think they watched like my Suicide of Rachel Foster video, and we had like a really good chat about it. And then I asked them to pick which game to look at for the milestone, and they chatted to me about that for a bit. It was good. Guna! Hello. How you doing? Oh my god, sir. This one is definitely a bit of a lost cause, but... Ah! I just don't do any damage to this man at all. I think I'm appropriately leveled for him. Oh, fuck. We'll come back. We'll come back. Yeah. This man kicks my ass very hard. But no, yeah, I've been really enjoying Black Ops 3. It's got a very, very delicious 0.7% plat. So naturally, like, that's my reason to keep going, you know? If I could, I'd plat this again. Oh, bless you, Guna. Hopefully they port it to the PlayStation 3. And then we can all go back in time. I bought some PlayStation 3 games the other day. One of my friend's friends was giving away all, like, his old collection. He had some really good stuff on there. It had like Mirror's Edge, but I mean that one's not that rare, but I just like it, you know. Oh, just getting my arse handed to me. It had like Enslaved Odyssey to the West or whatever it's called. He had like Red Dead Redemption Game of the Year, which I've already done. He had Borderlands 2, and I was like, if this was Game of the Year, I'd do it, but you know, don't want to buy all that DLC. Yeah, I had a load of stuff actually. Ratchet and Clank. Managed to get quite a few games for like 30 quid. Have you finished it, Dave? I think you have, haven't you? Black Ops 3. How did you do the one with the bomb game, the bomb thing? Ow. Let me cancel my attacks. If I'm in the last frame of a heal and I've already healed, let me cancel it. I don't mind my character throwing her Estus on the floor. I'll go and pick it up. Fuck off. Oh yeah, I remember you telling me about how it was on the 3. I can't believe it worked on the 3. The connections seemed very janky on the 5. I mean, it wasn't a PlayStation 5 version, but you know what I mean. Lots of lag. Lots of frame rate fuckery. It was very touch and go. Like, there were a bunch of times when I was doing maps with like randomers, and I was like, I do not know if my connection will like permit me doing this. Ah, I used the wrong thing. Oops. That was on me. I remember when I first discovered this guy, he wrecked me. Ow! The music's like, didn't expect you to still be here, to be honest, buddy. Stop! Damn. Damn. Oh! Look at that health. Oh! Sorry. Get back and finish the PS4 version one day. What have you got left to do? Oh, all decorations. That one's apparently, like, really buggy. Like, really buggy. Yes! Oh, I saw that, Goonie, yeah. And apparently, like, you can't fix it. You have to have like, a whole fresh save to fix it. Got some of the strats to make some of it really easy. Oh, like what? And thank you, Birch. Can't believe that wardrobe just beat me so hard. I can't believe you have to delete your save for that one. Like, I'm not brilliant at COD games. I got alright at Warzone. And when I say alright, I mean, like, vaguely above average, I think. But in terms of, like, oh! Didn't think that was gonna work. In terms of, like, personal decorator and stuff, like, I would not... Wait, what's my health looking like? Yeah. I wouldn't anticipate that would be an easy thing for me. Oh, nice. Where are we? No good sort ahead. Oh god. Yo, who playing the flute? Who is this? Yellow Ember. Grace Mimic. Bloodstain. Shekel, I beat Mog! Yeah, I made a cold Uchigatana. It did absolutely nothing in terms of increasing my damage at all. So it was ultimately, you know, not useful, but, you know, also the weapon art for it was trash. I should have picked up the one you told me about. Ooh. Well, I hope you... It seems like you got it at least, Guna, which is pretty cool. I think the bug is rare, and I think... For some people, but not all, I think some people falsely reported the bug too. Because apparently you have to do something very specific, like you have to physically go and see it in like the cupboard or something, and I think it's probably slightly inflated by that. Hefty bound. Y'all. Oh, how'd you do that? You just asked nicely. Did you make him fall off the side? I heard you can insta-kill him with some really weird tricks. Oh yeah, you can jump on this game. Yeah, that'll be it. That'll be it. Ah! No! God, life's relentless. Looks like there isn't anything down here anyway, to be fair. When do you think they'll patch that? Well, fuck that place. Let's not do that. Let's go here. Let's find stuff. Let's go here. But start here. Actually, no, because there's that horrible bell tower. Let's go here. Hey, Sammy, how you doing? I love FromSoft's tenacity in patching anything that gives you an edge. Not too bad. Well, I'm glad to hear it. Glad to hear it. I'm good, thank you. How are you doing? Is Black Ops 4 worse than 3, or basically on par? I'm good. Oh, did I already ask? I'm so sorry. I am good, thank you. I had a pretty busy day. I went to the opticians today. I finally got, like, sized for glasses, but like with the eye thing. Turns out I have astigmatism, pretty bad, in one of my eyes. Because like they did that thing where they were like, okay, look out your left eye now and read to us the letters on the board, and I was like kind of reading them and I was struggling a bit. And then they swapped my eyes, they were like, now read them, and I was like, it's a trick question, they're all F. And she started laughing. I was like, well, so because my astigmatism was that bad, it made the letters look really spiky, so I thought they were all Fs. I was like, you've shown me a board of Fs. She was like, we haven't. Also, you have astigmatism. I was like, okay, well, that makes sense. It was great. All online, rarer platinum. Ooh, yeah, but we love a rare plat, don't we? We love a needlessly rare plat. The best kind of plats are the ones on games that are kind of very casually catered, so people play them just for fun. So like GTA 5, like that's an easy plat. The online's a bit trash, but it's an easy plat, right? Oh gosh, ignored. Like we love it. We love an artificially inflated difficulty plat. Those are my favourites because I get them. People are impressed, and I'm like, another year staved off where I don't have to do Crypt of the Necrodancer. Hey Pete, how you doing? They're all L's actually. Yeah, they did the thing with like the cluster of dots. She was like, the dots get sharper and rounder, or thinner and longer, and I was like, I don't know. Oh, it's her. Oh, hell no, Guna. Hell no. Oh, apparently Blackout was bad, but it kind of paved the way for Warzone, which was good. Could be wrong. Could be wrong. Oh, we got a smithing stone. Oh yeah, I'd never do Crypt. People sometimes... I remember Shek once asked me, how much would you need to be paid to do Crypt of the Necrodancer? And I was like, well, it's 1,000 hours. And if we bill my time at, like, 40 quid an hour, and a lot of money. Oh, that's good. That's good, dude. Yellow. One moment. I've just been asked which Dead Space I want. Everyone had a lot of health for some reason. I think that's kind of good. Like, I've played a bit of Overwatch over the last year, and I think I prefer, like, the time to kill on Overwatch as opposed to the time to kill on Warzone. I find the time to kill on Overwatch much more about, like, skill and strats, as opposed to Warzone, where it basically just becomes a situation of hide and seek. Yeah, you'd have to get, like, a keyboard for it, I think. How many channel points for you to do that, Guna? Yeah, I have no rhythm either. Mine would be 100,000 hours. I would pass that plat down to my family. Like, I'd pass it down to my kids, but I wouldn't expect them to do it within their lifetimes either. It would be a centuries-old legacy of the Necrodancer. 100 million. Alright, well, let's begin bankrolling, boys. You must bear this burden. They get trained to do, like, Crypt of the Necrodancer and only Crypt of the Necrodancer. Ow. They're like, Mummy, when can I learn my ABCs? All the other children know theirs. And I'm like, if you miss one beat, you die with this character, so, let's focus on what's important here. Little Mount Chimney. I don't know what I'd call them. Spoink. Super Meat Boy looks fun as well. Super Meat Boy looks rewarding. Like, there's a difference between, I think, a plat that is, like, rewarding and just miserable. Like, some plats are very hard and take a long time, but you build skills and, it's actually, like, you've actually grown as part of it, but some plats, like overly grindy ones, where you're just grinding for like 700 hours, or you know, like kind of like PS4 Final Fantasy 14 is plat, as opposed to the PS5 Final Fantasy 14 plat. You know, one of them takes growth and learning and mastery, and one of them does not. Oh, when are you doing Mein Leben, Guna? After 20 hours, I think it turned into the most miserable experience. Yeah, it's one of those where it's like, you can master it, but there's such a luck element as well. Like, it's just not one of those that, my friend sent me a picture of the games he's selling, and I was like, oh, I'll take Dead Space. Seeing Dead Space. And he was like, I don't own Dead Space. And I was like, I can see Dead Space. See, right there. It says Dead Space. Like, why would I make that up? He's like, I just don't own Dead Space. I'm like, I can see Dead Space. Like, I can see it. I don't... Fine. I don't want it then. Like, just keep it. Whatever. If you find it, let me know. Deadbolt. I think it's up there with Meat Boy and Mein Leben. 9 out of 10 my butt, guide writer. Deadbolt. Oh, I remember you talking about Deadbolt, I think yesterday with somebody. No, wait, I wasn't streaming yesterday. Saturday, right? Hey, Fastfear, how you doing? Yeah, I was looking at Dead Space. I was also looking at Dead Space 2. I heard it's really hard. Oh, I looked at chat. We had somebody in chat the other day who'd done Mein Leben, and it took him like 29 tries. But I think, I don't know particularly how he did it, but I feel like kind of Nightmare Run Outlast taught me that you should probably practice on hard mode a few times, because if you die right at the start, then you're not getting nearly as much practice near the end. Like just pushing through, counting deaths until you can do it without death. Dead Space isn't that hard. Dead Space 1 isn't hard. Dead Space 2 is apparently 9 out of 10 or like 10 out of 10. You have to do like a super, like a 3 save playthrough on the hardest difficulty, and it's awful. Oh, the German version? Is it in German? Because that would be icing on the cake. 27 tries, that's not too bad. Like, I mean, that sounded like the most sarcastic thing you've ever heard, but I do mean it. Kind of went in the dark for a little while. That's alright, Fastfear, it's good to see you. What are you up to nowadays? You got work, you got school? What's going on with you? It's in English, but it had censored parts, hence the stack. Well, I mean, a stack's a stack, right? I'll take that. Apparently it's not too long. I got another one called, like, Fairy Tale Fights, because I was like, what the fuck is Fairy Tale Fights? Fairy Tale Fights is a 2%er, right? And it can be played 2-player couch co-op, so guess who's going to invite her brother over, telling him that she got the new Skywalker Saga game, and then go, oh no. Oh no, I've got it confused, Alex. Oh no, I'm so sorry. Oh, I thought I had the I thought I had the Luke Skywalker Lego Saga for PlayStation 5, and I've accidentally bought Fairy Tale Fights for PlayStation 3. Oh, well, you're here now. And he'll go like, okay. And he'll do it. Because he can't drive, and he won't be able to leave my house. I sense a lot of Nazi-related things in Wolfenstein 2, hence the separate stack. That's wild. Oh, in the German version. Potatoes, how you doing? Let me give Sephi a little treat in a sec. She's been so cuddly today. Oh yeah, you can't pause this. That's fair enough, Kinky. I don't think they are doing a Neo 3. I think they've said that they're going to stop doing Neo, but they are going to work on new projects. And to be fair, I was kind of happy with that. I was like, it's nice to see them not, like, burning the series into the ground. It's nice to see them, like, I think they said they were potentially going to explore, like, Celtic or Gallic history now. So it wasn't going to be, like, Japanese history. It was going to be kind of Celtic history. So that would be really cool because they put so much time and effort into making their combat systems and incorporating all the weapons. Like, I'd love to see what they came up with there. Fair. You know what, Guna? I'm gonna say that sounds fair enough. You know, it's not. It's not been. It's been like 70 years. You know, yeah. Let's give him a bit more time on that one. You know, I'm like, you know what? That's fair for now. A Celtic New would be super cool. They are. I do love that they basically put a backdrop of history on there because they're like, well, look, our game is all about combat. We're about making like sweet, awesome mechanics, like super slick fighting style. We're all about technique. You know, we're all about mechanics and kind of fundamentals. So we're just gonna copy paste some history and we'll just put it in the cutscenes and you can skip them if you want. I really like Neo for that. Oh, I got wanted weapons of fate as well. That's another one I got. Dripped up like a Highlander. Imagine being able to use bagpipes to fight. Well, so yeah, that's another game that I got. That one's on the way. I heard good things about it. Why? Why is this here? Again, why? Ha! Oh god. Ah! Sorry, shouldn't make the noise, but it is really fun. I do like using jumping attacks in this, mainly because the iframes you get in your legs often mean that you completely avoid attacks that absolutely hit you. Like, I live for that. That's my favourite thing. Oh look, it's Radahn. What? Nothing to do with me. If you two-hand your weapon, the jump leg removal is more efficient since your arms are higher. Why am I not two-handing my weapon? There we go. That makes sense. Oh, for fuck's sake. Oh, I've never been so unhappy. Sir. Oh god. I thought we were done with this man. I thought we were done with him. I thought he was behind us, and he is very much in front of us. For God's sake. I thought we were done with him, Shekel. Cucumber, hey! That guy had no health. How was he still swinging his sword like a lunatic? Just mad belief. I do love the appearance of that boss, I agree. But I hate fighting him. I fought the one during Rani's questline. I guess I was significantly lower level, so it could go differently now. But I hated the kind of constant battle with the camera. Although since then, FromSoft have released a patch that has made the camera apparently it's made it less swingy in like bigger fights. I do not know how true that is, but I saw it in the patch notes. They could just be lying, you know, I'd believe that. I missed! Oh no. Please. Oh! Oh. I was like, he heard me! Oh. Thank you, Pippa. You having a good Monday? Is such a thing possible? Sometimes, I guess. If you got the best news of your life on a Monday, it would probably be a good Monday, you know? Like, it wouldn't be an amazing Monday, but it would be a good Monday. Oh, he's awful. Yeah. This boss is not only ugly physically, but to fight, he's hideous. Hideous. Hate him. Is it? Why have we got another bank holiday? We've already had 3 this month. You know what? I won't look a gift horse in the mouth. I'll take it. I'm sorry, Pete. Bah! Stop! No! Stop! 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 Oh! Oh no! 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 I'll come back another time. Hey Lux, how you doing? Come back later. He's probably not in front. Oh, he's probably not in front of anything important. Let's just leave. Let's leave. Greetings, Genie. How you doing? Anyway, God, let's put that behind us. I suppose so, Genie, in the broadest sense. Do let us know if that changes. Oh, that's where we are. Okay, that's cool. Still hated. Thank you, Genie, thank you. Can you get off? There we go. I'm out of here. What's that hat doing stat-wise? Makes me look like a mushroom. Doesn't do anything specifically though. That was a vigor check, I reckon. Woo! Love it. Eye of yellow. If I was a hidden floor, tunnel in the floor, where would I be? There? Probably. No stat increase on the hat, the second strongest witch in the game. I haven't checked. I haven't checked. I can't read, so I just look through my inventory. I just see what looks alright, and then I put it on. Any, like, kind of stat boosts or anything are just purely coincidental. I have not got a strategic bone in my body. It took, what, like 20 hours for me to use a weapon art? There's no hope for people like me. I could lock onto you, sir. Same. I agree. Just wing it. Like, nobody's gonna grade me. Except Shekel, but that's in my yearly review, so that's fine. Where is he? He's there. Remember in Sekiro when, oh god. Remember in Sekiro when, you'd... I'm stressed. I'm gonna die. If you left an enemy alone after doing their, like, dots, you know the ones, like the death dots, they'd get their health back, and it was like a way to stop you from cheesing the giant. The yearly roasting. Yeah, to be fair, I do need it just to keep me from getting too arrogant. Cold sorcery? Oh, nice. Well, I do have a Cold Ichi Katana that does magic damage, so hopefully by proxy I get a boost. Right, where's the entrance, since it's obviously hidden? I just hate how this game makes me run around like a nonce, just hitting everything. Like, just be honest with me, Elden Ring. Like, am I wasting my time? Elden Ring's like, I want you to waste 45 minutes looking like a fucking idiot. Stop it. What was your last plan, Cucumber? Oh, another one. Don't think I'll bother with that. Oh, that's not a bad game. I quite liked where it seemed to be going. I hated where it went. I read some comic bloke's comic called Junji Ito. It's called Hellstar Remina. It's really good. And it's about like I guess it's about the worries of like searching too much for knowledge. I guess it's kind of got that same message as Bloodborne, like maybe you should just leave stuff alone. But it's about some scientists who are like scouring the universe for cool stuff, and they see this planet and it's like moving really fast, and they're like, oh. And they finally manage to get like an image of it, and the planet like turns and looks at them, like it notices I killed patches. Alright Dan, how you doing? How's Tamworth services? Have they been burnt to the ground yet? Big stonks. Thank you so much for the sub. The resub. Welcome back. 6 months. Christ. How's life, Dan? But no, Hellstar Remnant is super cool. Like this, they're looking through this telescope and they're watching this really unusual, anomalous planet move around and do whatever it is it's doing. And then the planet like turns and faces them, and from like millions and millions of light years away, because they're aware of it, it has become aware of them. And they just turn, and obviously all they were doing was like looking. You know, it was like innocent, they just wanted to see what was out there, but like the second they see this planet, it knows that they've seen it, and it turns around and looks at them. And it starts to move through like the universe towards them. And on the way it eats planets as it goes. Like it's a huge planet, and basically it's got like this enormous mouth, and it just comes across new planets, and it just opens its mouth and it just chomps them. And as it gets closer to Earth, it just starts to... Oh, weird. Am I getting invaded? It just eats all the planets on the way, and it sorry, I don't know where this guy is. It's super interesting anyway. And I kind of thought that Everybody's Gone to the Rapture was gonna be the same kind of thing. I thought that it was going to be like, basically like, almost a Lovecraftian, you know, something's taken notice of you, it's not your fault, and there's nothing you can do about it, you know. Like, Bloodborne, for example, takes part basically at the extinction moment of the human race, as was the extinction moment with the other civilizations you visit in the Chalice dungeons, which is really cool. I like stuff like that. And I thought that Everybody's Gone to the Rapture was going to be like that, because obviously, like, this light thing just appears one day, and it, oh damn, it just starts to, like, what's it saying? That's probably close to the plot of Gemini Home Entertainment. Is that one of your weird catalogue things you've been looking at? Had a Wendy's for dinner? Oh my god. You live in a well... what the fuck? Living a good life. That movement speed is... oh, it does. Yeah, patch the speed. Patch the speed. But no, I loved Hellstar Remnant, and I thought that Everybody's Gone to the Rapture would be like that, where, you know, like, humanity makes, like, an innocent mistake, and a bigger, more kind of developed creature who doesn't understand us, just kind of walks over and does what they want. It's kind of like snails. You know, like, I had Wendy's when I went to the United States like 10 years ago. Back then it was great. Don't know if it's good now. But you know, like when you see a snail in the road and you just kind of pick it up and fling it into the bush. It's kind of how I see like Bloodborne gods and stuff. Like you pick it up, you throw it. You kind of think you're doing it a favor, but you probably haven't. You might hurt it. Probably doesn't know where it is. Might then get eaten by something. Might have wanted to be on the road. But, like, you don't even consider a snail to be capable of, like, conscious thought, right? So you don't care. Like, why would you even bother to try describing to a snail what you're going to do to it? You know it's not going to understand you. Jesus Christ. I just want to leave Yellow Tunnel. Like, that's it. But I like stuff like that in media, and Hellstar Remnant was a really good version of that. It was really, really hard to read. It was, like, creepy and disgusting, bit body horror-y at some points. And when I played Everybody's Gone to the Rapture, I was like, this is horrifying. This makes me feel sick. Like, this light has just appeared and is now, like, absorbing people. But the final, yeah, exactly, Cucumber, same. Yeah, but the final scenes of it, it was like, yeah, this is just how it is. Like, we can't stop the way things happen. This is a metaphor for letting go and, like, giving control. And I'm like, letting go of, like, the future doesn't mean your entire bodily consent doesn't matter. You know, I'm like, if an alien showed up and was like, yeah, you know, we're gonna put you in this, like, light world now, and everything's gonna be better, I'd be like, yeah, you know what, everything might be better in this light world, but I'm quite comfortable where I am. You know, I'm good. You know, gee, thanks, but I found the ending, like, really creepy in a way. But the game was like, no, it's cool, don't worry. Don't ask, don't worry. Don't ask, don't tell, don't worry. I was like, that's weird. That's weird. The final scene is, like, the scientist woman narrating, and she's like, sometimes we just have to let go and allow things to happen. And I'm like, I don't know. Like, it might be a better world that they make. But at the same time, I didn't ask, you know? Didn't ask. Yeah, it was just wild. I was like, this is such a strange message. Because obviously, like, it's really scary. Like, everybody gets raptured. Their bodies are just turned into light. Everything they know or care about is just evaporated. And it's because, like, this light shows up and it doesn't understand that we are a life form that is sentient. Like, we haven't achieved sentience on the same level as that light. Hey, Michael. That, like, light animal creature thing. And I was like, that's a cool concept. But, you know, we are the snail on the side of the road, and this creature has just decided to... Oh, who's this? Right. Okay, we have Alex. It was strange, and the ending was like, oh yeah, isn't this a happy time? Isn't this so good? I'm like, no, not even remotely. I've just got here. Alex! Please don't kill him. Ow. This is a bit early, isn't it? A bit early, maybe? He's using Forbidden Sun. Give me all the wings. Ow. I was like, why is he raising his foot? Unusual. I'm dead. Alex, no! Right, this isn't 100% Alex run. We have to beat him with Alex alive. If he dies, then I don't care. But ideally, we have to beat him with Alex alive. That's the rule. Alex will solo the giant. God, he better. God, he better. Yeah, they finally make a Souls NPC and name him after my sweet little brother. And he's a jar! He's a jar! I was like, boy, if you were a jar, think about the childhood memories you would have had. He's a jar. He's not a mage. He's not a wizard. He doesn't wear a big hat. He's a jar. I'm so proud of him. Where is he? Alex! Metaphorically, of course. I'm very proud of him. Anything my brother chooses to pursue in life, be it, you know, being a jar, eating people, being a sweet summon in various online video games, you know, you go ahead. You go ahead, my boy. I need more. He's got a horrifying actual face. Like, I know his belly's a face, and that's fine, I can deal with that, but his real face is awful. No offense. Why can't I lock onto his other foot? Missed. Look out, Alex. Oh. Imagine if he spoke. Imagine if he was off. He's got an ear on his armpit. Imagine what you'd hear. Sorry. If he uses that like a weapon, I'm calling Dark Souls 2. I'm calling Dark Souls 2. Miyazaki's like, the light shines upon you, child. Now let me spell it. That is categorically not good. What the fuck? Alex! Is he a spoof on, like, me? Because I dodge roll too much. If you dodge roll too much, do you have to fight this boss? And if you actually play the game properly, do you get to fight an easier boss? Ah! Please don't eat me with your big mouth. He's furious. Thank you for calling me a funky little mushroom. Ow. Ah! I miss! Okay. Ultra Dingus Supreme! Thank you for the follow! Alexander Warrior John, what are you doing over there? He's not helping me. See what you've done, Alex, is you've bolstered this man's health and then you've abandoned me. That is just like Alex. Where are you, Alex? I see you. Oh, he's on his way. Come on, boy. No! You've pyromanced my father's favourite child. You can't do that. He's on his arms. Ultra! Alexander said. Yeah, Alex is like, you know what? You're doing fine. I'll talk to you later. By the way, Mum said you had to take the bins out. It would be funny if Alex could, oh god. It would be funny if Alex could, like, turn backwards, open his lid, and have flames shoot out, and he could, like, rocket propel over to me. But I mean, I guess I'm asking for too much really there, aren't I? Alex! Yes! Alex has staggered him! Alex, if you could just absorb the weight of those pyromancies, I would be so appreciative. Go on, you little glue pot. Eat! Oh! Ah! Go, Alex! Alex is doing really well against this guy. Pete, were you joking when you said you could solo him? I thought you were kidding. Alex, no! His little legs. He's so... Oh. My brother. Yes! A family photo. Bye, Alex. Enjoy death. Yeah, well, to be fair, Alex seems to, he sat in the lava, didn't he, to, like, mend. So maybe he resists. Right, is he here? If I rest at a bonfire, you better not be dead nearby. Don't you even pretend that that's gonna happen. I just gotta find a bonfire. I mean, not a bonfire. You know the one. Grass. Mum said it's my turn to be a Dark Souls NPC. Without spoiler tags! God damn. The thing is, I certainly don't blame people. Like, it's hard to be like, look, the game's been out 6 weeks, can you tag spoilers? But I've been playing like between, I'd say, 6 and 16 hours of this a week. And I've not finished it. To be fair, I saw somebody today on r/Sekiro being like, can people please stop posting spoilers? I've been playing this game since it came out, on and off, a few hours here, a few hours there, and I keep seeing spoilers on r/Sekiro, and I'm like, oh bless. So, respect that. So I take it we don't touch this yet. That is, we can't do that, that's the end of the game. Okay, we do touch the bowl. Okay, right, well, let's go. Wow, I can't believe it. Today we've killed Mog, and we've killed this bloke. And now we're going to Broom Tower. To be fair, Broom Tower really did pave the way for awesome, massive chains you can use as bridges, right? I think this game should have far more massive chains to be used as bridges. Well, that looks weird. You never looked to have any bosses. Fantastic. Kaz! How you doing? I am currently marveling at the massive chains used as bridges. Oh, so that's a death box, I see. I'm not allowed in there. I was like, yeah, I'll go down there. That'll be fine. You did the same thing. Okay, cool. I'll take that. I'll take that. I really need to record some audio tomorrow. I've had some audio sitting for like 24 hours, which is far too long for audio to sit. Oh, P. Oh, so you picked it up, Kaz? Yeah, is it the first time playing? Or have I got the wrong end of the stick? Oh yeah, fair enough. Well, how did you find it? Who did you see? Who did you meet? Where's my stuff? Oh my lord. So. Oh, there's a Grace over there. We could. Ah! Ah! Okay. I'll do better next time. I'm at a plateau of giant hair swordmen. Came across a guy with a tree growing out of his face and found a round table. That checks out, yeah. That checks out. And, how was it? Annoying? Nice? Margaret? I've died the same amount of times to the fire giant as I have the kiln of the first one. Margaret. Oh, homie. That's him. Yeah. He's quite fun. I think he's a bit too fun. I find that offensive. Dark Souls isn't about having fun. It's about learning through great hardship and misery. I'm joking, he's quite good. Who did that? Excuse you. Oh, I hate when games have like conflicting control schemes. Like, I was playing, we were doing the Outlast weekend, obviously a few days ago, and I went to jump and pressed triangle to jump, and I can't remember what on earth told me to do that. Oh god, the stats are dumb, aren't they? At least we don't have ADP. And I love the game that spawned ADP, but...
Indiscriminate. Are you prepared to commit a cardinal sin?
Yeah.
Very well. Let my hand rest upon.
I think what I'm gonna do, Kaz, I think I'm gonna save scum the endings for the PS5 version, and then, oh no, I'm doing the PS4 version right now. I think I'm gonna save scum the PS4 version, and then play the PS5 version. So then I'd play it twice, but I save scum 6 endings. Yeah. This bitch. I asked her, I called her. If you sit close enough to the ledge, she spawns down the kiln so she can't touch your hand and you get soft locked forever. That's hilarious. But that's so funny. Like, the fact that she can't touch her hand, which means that, like... oh, she's looking burnt. The fact that they don't spawn her next to you for the cutscene is hilarious. And the fact that she has to make contact with you is hilarious as well. Oh, bless. I haven't read the trophy guide. No, please, caps away. Caps away.
You shall burn.
Don't really do int. I reckon Dex and Arcane is the way to go.
Burn for the sake of the new Lord.
Wow, grind to level 100 immediately. I've only just hit level 100 and I'm in the end game, so that's wild. That must be quite an in-depth guide, to be fair. She's not looking good. Well, I mean, she seems fine, but you know.
For guiding me here.
Hmm.
The one who walks alongside flame
I killed my maiden.
shall one day meet the road of destined death.
I think that's the best way to go, Kaz. Getting swords, swinging wildly. That's what I did for like the first 20 hours.
Goodbye.
Sword and board. I was like, look, I'm resistant to change, and everybody in chat went, oh, really? Yeah? I think that's news. I was like, okay. Good point. Your little screams and stuff. Ugh. Yeah, I like the big hat. Oh! So this is the place that you think is time travel? Ah. There's tornadoes everywhere. That's very cool. This is, okay, so what do you think about this is like the future or the past or something? Just the fact that there's like rocks and stuff. Hi Eric, how you doing? Oh wow, I see. How close to the plat are you? I wouldn't worry too much about this plat, Kaz. It's actually probably the easiest plat in Souls, because most plats in Souls games, as you probably know, require you to go into like New Game Plus 2. Because this game is an RPG and like such an open world game, I don't think they want you to go into New Game Plus. I think they want you to be allowed to like play the game at your own leisure. So this is the only game besides Bloodborne where you only need to play through like the one time, which makes it one of the easiest ever. Yeah, yeah. I think you'll be quite surprised by it. You basically just have to kill the bosses. Like all the other games ask you to find everything as well, like all the weapons, but this asks only that you find a couple. Yeah, with saves coming then. There's one thing that implies time travel, which we hopefully show you today. That's cool. Ooh. Crumbling Farum Azula. Wow. So, why am I here? This seems weird. Yeah. This game is, I don't mind games that tell you nothing. I think, there was a lot of discussion about UX and things when this game came out. And I was like, the game doesn't need to tell you anything, but there are ways that the game can, like, subtly guide you around without having to say a word. Like, I think just the tutorial placement in this was a dreadful decision. So the tutorial in this is completely missable, because it's, like, down a pit. And it was the same in Dark Souls 2. You could completely skip the tutorial by running through the middle. Whereas in Dark Souls 1, you have to do the Northern Asylum as part of the game. And loads of people were like, well, it's in the Dark Souls spirit. Like, you're supposed to accidentally miss things. It's supposed to encourage exploration that you, like, go and look for the tutorial. I'm like, a tutorial you have to look for is not a good tutorial. I was furious. I was like, stop. Because people are like, oh, we don't need tooltips. We don't need, like, guidance. And I'm like, no, you don't. But, you know, the best kind of UX is stuff that you don't notice. Sekiro had really good UX. That game had a couple tooltips, but not loads. The item menu is a bit oh yeah, they're dumb, aren't they? Yeah, exactly. A tutorial should be something that you can't miss, even if you want to. So like, even, you know, New Game Plus on Northern Asylum, you have to run through it. I think that you should be able to kill the Northern Asylum demon, immediately get the key and leave. I think that would be a vast improvement for New Game Plus, but you know, in terms of the fact that the tutorial is unmissable, but skippable, is fine. I think I agree, Guna. It's definitely the most kind of, like, refined one. Bloodborne has, in my opinion, the worst UX. Second, thank you for the follow. But Bloodborne is also the best looking, the coolest story, in my opinion. Again, super opinion there. But there are a lot of ways, because I remember people being like, oh, we don't need tooltips, we don't need this, we don't need that. And I was like, we don't. We absolutely don't. The best UX is stuff that you absolutely don't even notice. I would love a Bloodborne 2. I love the irony of Souls games being brilliant, because the problem with Souls games is that they're incredible, right? Because Souls game stories are all about, like, breaking cycles. Souls game stories are about like, not rotting, not stagnating, always trying something new, always going into the unknown, never doing the same thing more than once. And everybody's like, can we have a sequel? And FromSoft is like, no! Oh my god, no! Do you not get it? And I'm like, Bloodborne 2? Bloodborne Kart? Like, maybe Sekiro 2? Sekiro DLC? They're like, what about the message do you not get? And I'm like, it's good, but I like them. They were making this game, they released Demon's Souls, and the FromSoft devs were like, shit, Elden Ring doesn't look this good. Demon's Souls is smaller. The FromSoft devs gotta cut themselves some slack there, I reckon. Where can FromSoft go from here? I think Sekiro has shown that they're pretty good at, you know, picking up new ideas. Because their concepts are usually the same, but they've proven that they have made some, like, fantastic games even when they've not followed, like, the strict formula. Oh, thank you, Intel. Jesus Christ. Thank you, Intel. I would hate Bloodborne 2, it's such a small story and they've already pulled from a lot of the best Lovecraft fiction, and Bloodborne 2 for me would need to be in almost no way connected to the first game. I think, in terms of Bloodborne, in terms of Lovecraft fiction, I've long since maintained this opinion, and weirdly, I'm going to talk about this in a review that I'm about to put on my YouTube, but I think that the worst thing about Lovecraft fiction is Lovecraft's fiction himself. Like, his ideas are always really good, but the best stuff is always made by other people using his ideas. Because I've read most of his bigger things. I've read, like, Call of Cthulhu, I've read, like, Mountains of Madness, I read The Dunwich Horror. But the best, like, Lovecraftian fiction is always by people who aren't Lovecraft. Like, Bloodborne's brilliant. That movie, The Final Prayer, or if you're in the UK, it's called The Borderlands, is brilliant. There's like a few Lovecraft-inspired missions in Fallout 4 that were like the best parts of that game. Ow. Call of Cthulhu tabletop game, Call of Cthulhu video game, Song of Horror. Like, I think that taking like the concepts of Lovecraft, they could probably make something surprisingly really good. Yeah, his actual writing is like, the thing I hate about his writing the most is the fact that he really wimps out in terms of describing horror. So like when you have horror media, you've got Lovecraft at one end of the spectrum, and he doesn't describe things at all. And you've got Stephen King at the other end of the spectrum. I'm gonna put it right at the other end of the webcam, and he describes things way too much. So like Stephen King, I was reading Pet Sematary, and I was absolutely glued to it, and I was like, this is really good. And then in the final scene, this guy goes into the Pet Cemetery and he runs into the Wendigo, and this Wendigo so far has been like quite a faceless, unkillable evil kind of thing. But in the final chapter, Stephen King describes it so thoroughly that I'm like, I can like, it's just a guy, like it's just a thing, like it's just, he makes it too tangible and it's not scary anymore. It almost becomes like a joke. Whereas, on the other hand, you've got Lovecraft. What it? I'm gonna die. And Lovecraft, like, basically goes like, oh yeah, so I ran into the monster. It was so big and horrible I could never possibly explain it. Anyway, that's it. And I'm like, okay. That was a lot of build-up for a lot of disappointment. You know, he always disappoints. And I guess, you know, he's like, oh yeah, you know, it's an unknowable evil, like I can't explain it to you. And I'm like, yeah, but you are trying to entertain me. Like, this is literature. And unfortunately, you've made it really boring. Like, I understand the concept of, like, undescribable evil, but I mean, try, you know? At least try. You know, all that build-up, all that tension, and it's just like, oh yeah, I couldn't describe it to you because it was, like, really weird. I'm like, okay, cool. Well, I mean, I've just spent, like, 2 hours reading this. I could have read, like, the Jamie Oliver cookbook and been, like, twice as miserable. Do you not think that there hasn't been one good Lovecraft game besides Bloodborne, and that still bothers me? Have you played Song of Horror? Have you played Song of Horror? Because I would argue that it's really good. Exactly! Like, at least describe, like, what the unknowable horror does. You know, you don't have to be like, oh yeah, it was a guy and he had 4 arms. And I'm like, oh, cool. But at least be like, oh yeah, I don't know, my head came off. You know what I mean. At the time, it was a completely novel idea, yeah, but so were equal rights. Like, just because it was a novel idea at the time. And the thing is, the point I'm trying to make, I guess, is the fact that all of the good Lovecraftian stuff isn't actually written by Lovecraft, it's written by other people. Hey Raven. Like, the point I'm making, yeah, it was novel at the time. You know, it's kind of like how Amnesia is as a game now. Wow. It's kind of like how Amnesia is as a game. Like, at the time it was novel, now it just looks like getting chased by Play-Doh. But... oh yeah, Darkest Dungeon is Lovecraft. Hey Second, how you doing? Ooh, have a good time at the shop. The thing about Lovecraft horror is that at the time, something being so indescribably horrifying that it drives you insane just by looking at it, that it would make it inherently hard to describe. You have to let your imagination run wild. Maybe. But I just find it lazy. I did indeed kill Mog. I did it with a cold Uchi katana. It didn't make that much of a difference damage-wise, and I'm not sure why. But no, I just think Lovecraft's writing is a bit shit. I'm like, yeah, you know, I could let my imagination run wild, but I could just do that, like, by myself without reading a subpar novel, you know? Like, I could just sit in my room and just imagine something really scary, and that's basically what he's asked me to do. The man was weird as well. He was, like, crazy. We're talking about Lovecraft Second and how a Bloodborne 2 game could be really good. No, Kaz. Super racist. Yeah, people were like, oh, Lovecraft was really racist. They were like, Lovecraft's racism was really normal for the time. I'm like, no. People looked at Lovecraft at the time and thought he was a bit too weird. Like, people found him a bit too racist at the time. Yeah. People are like, yeah, but it was the time. I'm like, no, he was weird. People were looking at him out the corner of their eye and being like, God, that guy's weird. But yeah, my opinions on Bloodborne are not Bloodborne, Lovecraft are. Well, I'm newbie Soulsborne game. Welcome, newbie Soulsborne game. I'm Dad. Not yet, Maverick. Haven't even seen it yet. Yeah, I think he was born in 1880, 1890 or something. So, yeah. No, I think I would have faith in a Bloodborne game, Bloodborne 2, because I think the concept there is loose and interesting enough that you can do a lot with it without having to rely on Lovecraft's writing himself. He regretted a lot of his earlier attitudes, I suppose so. But I don't care. I mean, like, I'm not putting the man on you know, I'm not putting him on a, what's the word? On trial right now. Like, he's dead. I don't care. But, you know, it's worth keeping in mind when you read his books. Alright, see you in a bit. That one is such a good lunge. I don't know how much he bleeds. I think he's quite resistant to bleed, if anything. But, you know, we try. if it bleeds, we can kill it. Well, no, I think I would like to see a Bloodborne 2 game. I don't normally like seeing ideas run into the ground, but I think that Bloodborne captured. I think because obviously Souls games are all about like gods at the top doing whatever they want, and everybody at the bottom having to just kind of like cope and seethe. Oh god, off we go. I think there is a version of him, Cucumber, that is a boss in like the main world. So I guess he technically is, but now he's been reused as like a normal enemy. Yeah, so like Gwyn obviously at the top, perpetuating the thingy of fire, all of the gods just kind of stamping on your head. Nito just being death. Like, they all have their own priorities at the top and they don't even care about people at the bottom to the point where they barely see them as like sentient. And I think that translated really well to Bloodborne. Because obviously that's what like Lovecraft is all about, really, isn't it? Just gods doing whatever they want and innocent lives just kind of being lost in the process. I think in terms of like the typical FromSoft like story formula, Bloodborne probably worked one of the best. Like the fact that whenever there's like a blood moon, a woman, like a human woman gets pregnant, like Immaculate Conception, like that's wild when you think about it. That's a god literally being like, yeah, I want a kid, anyway, and then like somebody's pregnant. Like, that's crazy, and they just don't care. They're like, yeah, I just need somebody to be a mum. They won't mind, you know. I'll just throw this snail into the hedge. The snail won't mind. Elon Musk has just bought Twitter. Oh god. That is weird. I remember it was because I think he got salty about being called out for posting something wrong. And he was like, well, time to buy Twitter. It's Twitter, who cares? I use Twitter. That's how I keep in touch with most people we talk to on stream, to be fair. Dan, Kaz, Speedy, Boshi. It's how I meet most fellow streamers as well. So yeah, I will feel that loss. But more on a professional level. He did, yeah. Do you think you'll buy the founder title as well? I remember one of my old jobs, like, you can buy Facebook Enterprise, and Facebook Enterprise is basically like, what it says on the tin. You can buy like a small version of Facebook for your business, and you sign up every employee, and it's how you can, and this like Facebook Enterprise can handle like payroll, and it can handle like internal communications and stuff, and you know, it's quite useful. But I remember the one that I was signed up to, the CEO had his own like Facebook account, Facebook Enterprise account, and he made it so that like we were all automatically subscribed, and we would all get notifications every time he made a post, and we couldn't unsubscribe from him. He was the only person in the company we couldn't unsubscribe from, and he would just use it to like post photos from when he was on holiday and stuff. And I was like, please don't do that to us, Elon. E. It was very tone deaf, because this guy was a multi-millionaire. He owned a big company, and I remember from his honeymoon, he got a huge private yacht, and he rented it with his husband. And I remember he shared photos of like the dolphins on the side of the yacht, and he was like, having an amazing Tuesday, just looking at dolphins off the side of my yacht. Hope you guys are all having a great day, and we're all at work, like, nice. Enjoyed the honeymoon. It was good. But that's the only place I've ever been at that's used Facebook Enterprise. But if we all get, like, because I've blocked Elon Musk on Twitter because his posts get on my nerves. I'm like, am I just going to wake up one day and I'm just going to be like, I'm just going to have automatically unblocked him? Hey Victoria, how you doing? That would be kind of funny. I'd be like, why am I getting like direct notifications about Elon Musk's honeymoon? Hey, you got him. If you respawn, we're gonna have some words. Dragon Wound Grease. Completely optional. Yeah, no, I could tell. I think I just wanted something to hit while I spitballed ideas about new FromSoft games. I'm a mushroom. I'll have you know. Carrying on Elizabeth's legacy from Ulasil. A shankable offence. Buggery's so Scottish. I'm an ass-kicking mushroom. I'm here to ruin lives, and that's it, really. There we go. I love that you can hit enemies in midair, and you know, you get to do like a critical attack on them. Because I never plan to hit them in midair, but I'm also always jumping and attacking as well. Which means that I always get that, and it looks great. It feels good, but it's not earned. You know, I didn't do it on purpose. It's not strategy. It's just tripping and falling into success. Alright, there we go. To be fair, they do stagger very fast. We'll take what we can get. You and I play absolutely differently. Yeah, I've had that with a lot of people. I had somebody who came in basically when I first started, and they were like, "You're not using a shield," and I was like, "No, I don't think I've used a shield since I first played Dark Souls 1." Like my first playthrough of Dark Souls 1, I just don't really drive with them, and they were like, "But you need a shield. What do you mean? How are you going to block attacks?" And I was like, "Just don't block them." They were like, "How are you going to parry attacks?" And I was just don't parry them. I just roll. And they were like, "You should get a shield." And I was like, no, I'm good. Yeah, no, I love a jump. It's weird. I think this game rewards so many different play styles that I've definitely had a lot of people be like, "You're not playing it right." Not in like a rude way or like an aggressive way. They're like, "You're not playing it right." I'm like, I don't think you can. Don't think it's possible. Jumping heavies only. That's me. I hit Godskin Noble during this huge jump and broke his stance. Quite funny to break his poise during airtime. I love it. It makes me feel great. If you're enjoying Souls games, you're playing them wrong. I'm not joking. But no, I love a jumping heavy. I was very unimpressed by it when Shekel first suggested it. Shekel was like, "You know, jumping heavies break poise really fast." And I was like, "Do you know that I didn't ask?" And then I tried it, and I was like, "Did you know, Shekel, that jumping heavies break poise really fast?" And he was like, "Brilliant. Nice." I thought that this was going to go up, and I was going to go to a bonfire, but it doesn't appear to be so. Bonfire? Your playstyle is not to play. I think that is the only successful way you can play it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Right, going back up the lift. The only reason I came down here was because I thought there'd be a grace, and there isn't, so I'm leaving. I just saw Dear Sir Madman. I ain't got enough straw. Is that all that straw is useful for, or is there more to it? Do you have the Claw Talisman and the Raven Mount chest? Don't know who they are. Don't know. Never met her. Never met her. Suffering from success. That's me. That's me. Suffering from my poise. Wow. They've really not. It's not even like they've like nerfed strength. They've just simply not bothered to accommodate for it. Oh, Claw Talisman. Oh, sweet. I could have it. I'm not sure. Let's have a look. Let's do. Sacrificial twig. Arsenal charm. That's quite useful. Yeah, I don't think I got it. I got this. The Fab Talisman. Like I'm a woman of great skill. I don't need to wear magic jewellery. You've seen Lord of the Rings? We all know how that goes. Do I go down to the pond or do I carry on here? This looks cool, but the pond looks cool. I'm gonna do the pond first, because the pond seemed more like a dead end. If I could go faster, I would. Right, let's send that back up. We don't need it where we're going. I wonder what these are. Like, they just seem to be blokes made of leeches, but there's obviously more to it. Something to do with God of Death, I guess. But oh, there's so many of them. Decided to pick the one place where thunder constantly hits close by, so one of days we're getting bombarded with noise. I love that you haven't moved either. You're like, you know what? Could move, won't. I'll be here when you're ready. I'm not walking through that. Worm faces. I can't lock onto it because it's behind a tree, but it can very much lock onto me. Oh, it's in the tree. Ow. Ah! I thought you was dead! Woo! Golly. Fulgur Bloom. Okay. They make really funny sounds. They're like super distorted. So. Well, this is cool. I killed a dragon. A completely optional dragon. I think I'm atoning for my sins from back when I played Dark Souls 1, because back when I played Dark Souls 1, I was like, if it's not mandatory, I don't... That is huge. I was like, if it's not mandatory, I don't care. And as a result, I never ever did anything. Oh god, he's up! Ah ha ha! What's in the gazebo? Ah! Wanker. Well. That was nice. Learning. This area is dog shit. Maybe we go somewhere else. Right. Souls never meta. God, I love the way the game handles fall damage in this, because you either fall 30 feet. It's like The Witcher, you know. You fall 30 feet and you're fine. You fall 30 feet and 1 inch and you die. Like in The Witcher, Geralt's shins are made of porcelain. That man hits the ground too hard from like a 7-foot drop and he's dead. The amount of times I would quite fairly judge a fall distance and just get shafted. In Devil May Cry 5, enemies that aren't on screen are less aggressive towards you, and it's a really good like thing you can exploit when you're going for the plat. At least as I read. But in this game, I keep trying to put that into play, and it just doesn't work. It's just not how the game works. But for some reason, there's just a part of me that's like, if I'm not looking at it, it won't be aggressive. And I just get killed from like off screen all the time. The way unit sorting works in this game is by a slider up to 99. That's cool. Yeah, this isn't worth the stress. It never is. Let's see what else is worth the stress. Aha! Oh, God. They call me parkour. Al Gore. I don't know. I like the music. Input reading overrides it completely, so there's optional duo bosses that is amazingly aggressive. It's meant to be really calm, but whenever you drink Estus, they decide to run at you and beat your ass. So how do you mean input reading overrides it completely? Like, if you heal, they'll suddenly just, like, charge at you? Which one, Raven? Oh, I got a new sub on YouTube, and like, he is such a gem. Like, he's gone from video to video, and he leaves like a book in the comments where he talks all about like his own thoughts on the video, and he'll talk about the stuff that I raised in my he'll talk about his own thoughts on the game and like stuff he he kind of discovered as he was playing too. Seb, you deserve the world. Blessed Seb. He's just left about 8 paragraphs in my video about The Last of Us 2. I'm like, you go. As soon as you press square, they're told to run and hit you, so the unit slotting slider overrides it. Oh, fair enough, Raven. I didn't notice. I do wish that your character could lock on to that, because obviously it is a threat, but... I love not looking behind me when I run out a door to attack something. I will get punished hard for that one day, but not today. Could have been then, I guess. Wow, it's rare to see a critical attack that actually does damage. Not that the critical attacks in this game don't, I just don't think I've leveled my damage enough. Yoink! How did I not die? There must be some places in this game where, like, full damage just doesn't count. Hello? Input reading gets on my nerves. Like, I get it, it helps the AI be smarter, but it does really annoy me. Like, it just feels cheap. I wish there were other techniques you could use to make AI smarter without having resort to input reading. Wow, that's quite an attack. Yeah, there's been a few bosses, and like I'm not well versed enough in kind of game design yet to recognize exactly when inputs are being written. But there's definitely a few bosses where, like Mog and Margit, I felt had some moments where they would be very passive until I tried to do something, and then like before I could even like finish the animation. Oh no, before I could even start the animation, they'd be hitting me with like the super quick attack, and I'm like, you've not moved for like 4 minutes, and now you're doing something immediately when I like press square. My least favorite thing about the animations in this game is the fact that the healing animation, the frames linger longer than the heal does. So your character will take a drink, and they'll heal, and they'll kind of go like, ah, and they'll get like that little yellow glow around them to show that they've healed. But that counts as like the animation, and you can't move during that. And I'm like, please just let me cancel that last bit. I don't mind if my character throws the rest of us on the floor, and I have to go and pick it up like during the fight. But like, please just let me roll at the end. There's so many times when an enemy's attack will be kind of just quick enough. Sorry, an enemy is like, so I'll bait an attack, I'll wait for the enemy to do the attack, and then during the enemy's cooldown I'll try to heal, but the cooldown will be slightly too long for me to get a heal off. Sorry, slightly too short for me to get a heal off. Mog had that loads, where like, he'd do a combo, I'd wait for the combo to be done, as soon as I knew I was safe I would heal, and then he would recover and do another combo as soon as I was in the healing animation. They probably just used the animation and stretched it out. People complained how safe healing was. Yeah, I think the safeness of healing, the game that I felt did healing the best was Dark Souls 2. So like, during animation the heal bar would increase, and if you got interrupted during that you would lose the heal that you had. I think that the complaint that I had with Dark Souls 3 was that as soon as you had the bottle to your lips, before your character even drank, the heal would just be like straight up. I think that was my issue with it. It wasn't the fact that like healing was too quick, it was the fact that you would get all of your heal weighted right at the start of the animation, which I just felt was a dumbassery, you know. Randomly spawning NPC invasions are annoying. Yeah, they really are. I remember getting my ass kicked right at the start. Luckily they're entirely optional and they're usually in areas that you don't need to be in, but they can be wild. I know that one. I wore their, oh, is that the one? Wait, which one is that? Because I think depending on quest lines you can get different ones that just kind of show up. There's a scythe. Is it the one whose armor I was wearing, Shek, or am I thinking of a different one? Ah, yeah. Azula Beastman. Oh yeah, I found him a bit when I was a bit over leveled. So I think we walked in and just like bitch slapped him, but I had to be shown where he was. I don't have the the presence of mind to find that kind of thing myself. So I had to be shown. Like, if you show me something, I'll hit it, but like I can't find it, you know? I can't find it by myself. Yeah, that would make sense. I think I found him because I was told where he was, and I think I was about level 40. So, it tracks. guess it depends on the situation, eh, Raven? Oh, no. Oh, not a fan of this at all. Can their magic hit me through pillars? Is it? I thought it was going to be Millennia. How long did Millennia take you? Wow. So that's why the recusant guy was right there. Oh yeah, because you had the Mimic. OG Mimic as well. I love how you just saw me die in less than 20 seconds and you're like, yeah, I don't actually know why I died. I'm like, did my display of idiocy reassure you? Jesus. I think she is Kaz, but back on release, you had some really OP ways of dealing with her. They've since been patched. I mean, I'm sure she's still doable. You know, I'm sure she's not impossible, but she had some. There was some straight up just broken counters to her, I believe. Ow. Damage track record with taking down bosses quickly. That's alright. I think this game gives you enough tools to kind of accommodate that. I think you get a lot more to work with. Like, you can have spirit summons in this, which is really cool. Can you get a pot spirit summon? Like a jar blow? Missed! I see what you mean. That's cool. Oh god. I tried to brute force that a little bit. That was not wise. Stop announcing greed, okay? Stop. Just let me learn the boss. Let me spend some time with it. It's not greed if he's still got 5/6 of his health bar left. Wow, right through the door. Jesus. was trying to roll back through that. It's gonna take a bit of practice. Raven, just announcing that there's gonna be a twist in the boss fight is probably gonna... to be fair, it's probably gonna lessen my response. You might be disappointed by my response if I know that something's gonna happen. Do you want to tell her before or after it happens? Now I know there's something that's gonna happen. I imagine it's probably got something to do with them resurrecting each other, being that they actually don't have a lot of health. But the health bar is enormous. Damn it! That's alright. Like, but just remember that if you tell me that there's gonna be a twist, like, I'm not gonna look at chat and be like, oh, I wonder what's gonna happen. Oh, probably nothing, I'll just carry on. Like, I am gonna look at chat and I am gonna, like, put my 3 brain cells to it. They work overtime, they do their best. I'm not talking about the Godskin duo either, I'm talking about my brain. They do a lot of damage. They're very aggressive. To be fair, they're not... The thing is, so Ornstein and Smo is the closest thing I can compare to this. And like, Ornstein is completely on your ass, whereas like, Smo is quite slow. Whereas like, neither of these two are completely on my ass. They're both like quite mid-speed rather than one being quite fast and quite slow. So you can't really bait them one at a time. I guess you can just kind of see which one's nearest to you. I wonder if I have and I just haven't noticed. When the flames are too... I can't believe this is the boss that took you 4 hours. Because I remember you telling me about a boss that took you 4 hours. And I always just assumed that it was Malenia. If you hit me through this, I will be so annoyed, by the way. Oh, for goodness sake, man. I think just Demon of Hatred probably took me close to that, Kaz. If it makes you wonder. I think there's 160 something bosses actually, Kaz. There's tons. I know that the list got updated, because I remember seeing it at a point when it said it was 157. I think it got updated. You cheese the demon. You shagger. Ah. I got very lucky with Ishin. Sometimes I brag about how fast I beat Ishin, and then I'm like, you know what? Like, any other roll of the dice, and I'd have been there for 20 hours. Emerit and Ishin tilted me really hard. I got really lucky at RNG with Ishin Kaz. Basically, I had Ishin only spam lightning. Like, that's all he did. He didn't use any other attacks. So, so I just, you know, lightning throw back him. Okay, Ah! I was gonna say if you focus on the little one, he's not too bad. But the thing is, I think it's just because I don't know how to fight the big one. I traded hard with the big one when I found him in Volcano Manor, because I was definitely over-leveled for him. No. I hate that move. Did he parry me? Stop! Ah! Oh god. You can, yes, Kaz. I'm trying to stagger him now, to be fair. But they can also dodge, so that is what this is where I suffer. I'll be over here. Just kind of like doing other things. I should take Mog's shackle off my quick select. Maybe I'll keep it there forever, who knows. I don't know where the other one is. He's right there. That's fine. Oh god, no. Oh! Stop. Right, well. A part of me was like, I should run away. And another part of me was like, they're at half health. Like, I can only be back. They're getting a little bit easier to handle, but Jesus. Thank you. I wish that I mean, I felt like the Throne Watcher and Defender, their healing mechanic was kind of dumb because they would be stuck where they were for so long. Jesus. They would be stuck where they were for so long that you could just kill them during the healing animation. So it was kind of redundant for them to even have it in the first place. Like, you kill one of them, the other one would kneel beside them for about 15 seconds. You'd have to be ladling. Like, you'd have to be using the ladle for that to, like, not give you exactly what you need. Thank you. I don't think I could bullshit viewers with a Persona if I tried, to be fair. I never finished one of those games. Same for you, actually, Kaz. I remember, I think we, what's the word? Raided you back during Witcher Week. That was enjoyable. I like that he's got like a head on top of his hood. That's cool. Now I'll give him some things. Some of the things he does are quite cool. Hey, it's Sammy! Stop. I'll be over here. I really hate these guys. It's weird that they skin people and they make them so, like, beige as well. Oh no, I can't pause! Oh, Birch. Man, what is the point of giving me pillars if I can't use them? That's a good point, to be fair. But like, yeah, design the face, now look at the back of the head for the better part of 200 hours. Don't know where the other one is. Oh! How did that work? How did I kill him from half HP? I don't understand at all. So you only have to kill, like, them each once? That was... Should that have... I don't think that... Yeah, let's not question it. Let's not even think about it. Action One! How you doing? And thank you. That was weird. Yeah, yeah, I was keeping an eye on the health bar. I was like, second phase, when? No. Strange. Did you get the bleed glitch? I could have, I suppose. I don't, I've never had a bleed glitch, I don't know what it is. I thought the bleed glitch was, useful only for dogs. So I think Sheck will, like, BRB'd as well. Thank you, bitch. I'm woefully confused. I don't even know where to begin. What, So, we are here. We can go up there. Right back, he will be... Oh, I was going to say we could go up the stairs, but I don't want to go too far. So I don't want to invest myself in a journey and then have to make it all the way back, but no, that was it. We can go this way. If there's a boss with a second phase and he gets bleed build up, he dies instantly. We need to go and see Melina. We need to go and see Melina. Come on, Melina! I need to speak with you presently. That was so weird. That was so weird. Right, I gotta rock a piss. I'll be right back. Sorry. Shrek, Shrek, he was at half health and I hit him and he just immediately died. The big one. Ashen one has diagnosed me with a bleed glitch. Based. So, do they have a proper second phase then? Or is it just they each have 2 lives? Oh, fuck off. It's just a shit fight. That's what we love to hear. That's what we love to hear. Another one spawns. Oh, they respawn infinitely until their big health bar is gone, okay. Yeah, I think I killed the big guy. So I killed the little guy and then I killed the big guy. And I think the big guy died with bleed. So he just died. He just left. Just, went.
You just rolled a spare. Spare me an inch of that fat
You just rolled a spare. Spare me an inch of that fat fucking follow. Thank you, Cucumber. Oh, have fun with your friend. It's good to see you. Yeah, Kaz, like, that happens with, that happens in Dark Souls 2 with, the Throne Watcher and Throne Defender. But the animation for them healing each other is so long that you can kill them during it really easily. I guess maybe they tried that, but they made the animation shorter and they were like, well, it's broken now. These guys are the worst, right? Let's go the other way. Pam pam param. Oh, I found a really big spider in my bathroom today. It shit me up. I do not like spiders at all. I was sweeping and I swept in like a dark corner and the dark corner turned out to be a spider and it just like started rattling across the floor. I screamed. Like, it was one of those spiders where like you get oh my god. Gale's here and he's a dog. It was one of those spiders where you use a tissue on it, and the spider is so big that you crush it with the tissue, and you can feel the spider underneath. It was one of those. I fucking hate spiders. I cannot stand them. I loved Lady Maria. I really like Lady Maria. You can trade damage with her pretty well. I think I beat her. I beat her the first time, and it was just trading. Like, I just ran at her and she ran at me and we did some stupid stuff. I died to the living failures quite a bit and I spent 3.5 hours on the Orphan of Cause, so, you know, potato, but I still love that I beat yeah, see, different strengths, right? You beat Cos in 4 attempts, I beat Cos in 3.5 hours, whereas I first tried Lady Maria, you took 30 minutes. Scobie! Scobie, I accidentally did a bleed glitch on the Godskin duo. He never got electric. That is so cool. I had no idea. Yeah, I never bothered to learn how to parry or backstab during that game, Kaz, so when I arrived at Cos, I was obviously quite handicapped. Gameplay-wise, I'd really I was playing the game basically with a hand behind my back. In a way, unofficial challenge run, but in another way, needlessly difficult. Peppers, how you doing? Oh, nice. Yeah, the DLC The DLC took me a good few streams. That's very impressive. I think for me, like the Dark Souls 3 DLC took me 1 stream, but it was a 6-hour stream, so I don't know if it counts. But the Bloodborne DLC took me ages. Living Failures sucked. Do you mean like sucked as in just like bad boss, or do you mean like hard boss? Apparently the bleed glitch is PlayStation exclusive. Well, first we get The Last of Us, then we get the bleed glitch. I think I was told before I even started that fight that the meteors always come from one side, but I don't think it was the meteors that ever killed me on that one. I think it was a specific attack they did, but I can't remember. So long ago now. I didn't even upload the VODs either. That was before I started uploading VODs, so I can't even check. Oh, the Chalice Dungeons took forever. I remember hating the Chalice Dungeons so much that I basically was like, alright guys, summon free for all. You know, if you wanna do Chalice Dungeons with me, we do Chalice Dungeons, and loads of people piled in, we had a really good time. But there was some really good fights in the Chalice Dungeons, but they were so long. And obviously, you know, here for the trophy, you know, I'm not ashamed of that. I was just like, this is a very long time to spend on a one thing. I've never tried the multiplayer, but I think that you have to use the fingers on like these little there's these little statues of blokes with just their arms out. I don't know who they are, but I think if you interact with them with a finger, you can co-op in the area. I think. Just blokes. Finger the blokes, and you can co-op. It was strange that they used fingers for this. I'm like, do you not know your target audience at all? Death ahead. Him? Yeah, Demon Souls did have a bit of frame rate shudder. I think I remember it mainly during Valley of Defilement, because obviously they've got all like the rain textures and the swamp textures and all the mosquitoes that just infinitely spawn. That was a bit ambitious, but I mean it was ambitious back on the PS3. But, I don't think I have had some frame rate issues on this, but I remember it was only during one specific fight, and I cannot for the life of me remember what the fight was. Oh, Demon Souls felt clunky. Yeah, I think it was because it's the first one they did. This one is like Dark Souls 3 combat. Like Demon Souls you could be quick. I think the fact that they point you towards a shield means that people tend to go with shields. I think also the fact that you have to have like consumable items to regenerate magic and health in levels where you only have one place to reset your like you know, you couldn't have Estus in that because you'd probably run out, but oh, a boss. I think you could play it fast and light and have fun with it, but it was just so geared towards like not permitting that. It just guided you in so many more like stiff directions. Oh yeah, they do. A lot of people complained that Blighttown's frame rate was pretty rough, but I didn't mind that one too much. I remember it was bad, but I don't think it was as bad as it was on release. I need to kill, like, the little... There we go. Ow! This music's a bit medulary. I don't know where I am. I don't know where I am. How's Farum Haligtree anyway? Good. I killed the optional dragon. Quite quickly. We were talking about how Lovecraft's writing isn't actually that good, so I got a bit. I was like, let's just punch something while we like talk. So the optional dragon came in really well there because it was a bit mindless and it was quite close to a bonfire. And we did the Godskin duo by accident, which was good. Hopefully the bleed glitch prevails for when we go back to Melania. We killed the fire giant, obviously, because we're here. He was fun. He was really fun. We got Warrior Jar Alexander in on the fun as well. He had a lovely time, I think. Yeah, I'm like, come on, Lovecraft. I know the horrors are beyond description, but try, you know, just try. Jim! How you doing? I am a mushroom. I don't understand why it's so difficult for everybody to understand. I'm a mushroom. I don't think that... But she has a phase change, right? Does it not work if it's a different bar? Yeah, how you doing, Jim Jam? Oh, fuck off. Sorry. Inappropriate. Be gone. Skeletal thought. How's Elden going? Very well, thanks. Very well. Is Claire over? Is sweet Claire around? The glitch does work against Melania. Well, we will be maybe using that. I will try and fight her normally, but if it happens, you know? I can't control the weather. Aw, Claire! Cute. What have you been up to? Long time no speak. I guess we'll get plenty of chance to catch up when I see you in a few weeks, but still, you know, it's good to ask. Yeah. Damn. Arse kicked in Castle Sol. I got my arse kicked in Castle Sol. I think my main issue is that dying is counterproductive to being able to buy anything. I agree. I think when you're close to a level up and levels cost like 60,000 souls and you die, and then you die again, you're like, yeah. It definitely doesn't help you grow. Do you know what time we're going to be meeting? I think check-in is at like 2. So anytime before then, really. I'm getting my hair done in the morning, so I will probably be around like after lunch, I'm not sure. But I'll probably be able to fetch Scobie or Shekel from a train station, as long as I don't go to Nottingham train station. We're going to Centre Parks, Kaz. The one up in Sherwood. Oh, Molly. I remember when we asked Molly, he was like, yeah, I'm good for anything. I was like, you sure? You sure you're good for anything? Yeah, I haven't been on holiday in a very long time, so I'm very excited. We planned it months ago. What's this red blanket? His iconic red blanket. Yes! Oh yeah, because you're in Norwich, right? I remember when you told me you worked for an electric fruit company, and I very unironically thought you meant Fruit Ninja app. I absolutely thought that. I remember you saying it, and you were like, I can't really talk about it, but I work for an electric fruit company, and I was like, why is Fruit Ninja held to such a high degree of security? I was really, honestly, like, I can't emphasize enough, I was very, very poorly informed. That almost looks bossish. I hope not. Ah! Alex!
Ah, I see you finally made it here yourself. The city hanging in the air is slowly crumbling. What an incredible place we find ourselves.
This guy voices somebody else familiar.
Most to reckon with, eh?
My brother!
I doubt there's a single soul who could have handled that giant other than you. It was practically a god. Of
Alex.
course, I count myself the great Alexander among the many. Which means I've but one thing to ask of you. Would you kindly undertake my ordeal? Come and tell me when you're ready.
Yeah.
I've been longing to fight a warrior as accomplished as you.
No, I don't think so. Sorry. Thank you. My brother's just asked me to kill him. I do love an all English cast. I love that Wales is finally getting some representation, and it's not just like people who shout abuse at you on the streets in The Witcher. Because that was basically all they had. Hey Sabby, how you doing? And yeah, Jim Jam a talking pot. Named after my brother, and he's just asked me to kill him in battle. Oh my god, they do, don't they? I love I've been playing, I'm sorry to keep banging on about this game that I've been playing, but I've been playing Song of Horror lately, and the main character is called Daniel, and Daniel talks how an American would imagine an English person would talk, but the American has only seen A Christmas Carol. Nothing else. So he says stuff like jolly ol' and like mustn't. He's like, I mustn't dilly-dally, I've got to get this jolly old manuscript down to the house. And then there's like American characters and they're like, what up bro, how you doing? And I'm like, why do they talk normally? Like why does my character talk like Ebenezer Scrooge? And all of these characters are like Netflix. I don't know what Americans talk about, but you know what I mean. He is a knockoff Hugh Grant. He looks like Sebastian from Evil Within. Have you already bought the BO3 season pass? Oh, yes! Well, I'm game sharing it, so technically no, but don't tell anybody. Don't clip this. Don't you dare mention this elsewhere. You made a photography page? Sabby. Oh, I'm all the way here. My god. I have to find, there's obviously going to be a Grace nearby that I've not seen. I don't know the PS5 yet. Zombie Chronicles. Looks vile. My brother, oh, to be fair, my brother was trying to do one, and it wasn't Zombie Chronicles, it was called something like Obergrod, or Novigrody, or Neverending Story. I don't know. It had dragons, and he's been trying to do that Easter egg for like 2 years, and he just can't do it. No, you sound exactly like my colleague who babies me. That's because you're little baby Sabby. So blessed. You're like, no, I'm a big man, I do sports. I'm like, yes you do. Wow, this is... He's got like a dick vein, but like on his throat. The plastic cap on the headband are all broken. How long did they last you, out of interest? I don't think he's too serious about it. I think he and his friends have been doing it. He's not a dedicated like achievement hunter. But he I think he mainly does it for fun, which is like an alien concept to me, but you know, like whatever, kid. He and his friend have a crack at it every now and again, but I think it's because there's only 2 of them that makes it so hard. Four years is really good. I'll take that. The train was in the shadows of evil. The shadows of evil. I did the shadows of evil yesterday. I didn't get any trophies on it. We all died. Scobie lives in a village in Wales where the local hotel was recently burned down. And you Google that, and it doesn't narrow it down. You get like 18 different countries, 18 different towns come up. It's really bizarre. So, do we actually have to fight Warrior Jar Alexander to the death? Or is there a way around this? That's the finale of his questline. Go back down the lift you arrived here from to continue with the map. Okay.
You are ready then, I take it? Then let us begin. I am the great Jar Warrior.
Iron Fist.
Alexander, lend me strength, O warriors. Let us become one champion.
Do you bleed?
As I suspected, victory was impossible. This vessel was found lacking.
Smooth.
My thanks. I knew you were the stuff of champions. It was a marvelous battle. I implore you, take what I bequeath from inside me.
Let's say that, man.
All vessels are destined to one day break. But the great Alexander lived as a warrior to his last.
My brother turned into soup. What the fuck? Who turned my brother into soup? Now you can be in your build forever. A little bit of Alex. My soup. My soup. I'm broken. Alright, let's go up the lift. You will live forever. Gone the wrong way. Oh no, I haven't. Optional area. Oh, so Alex was in an optional. Well, yeah, that was like a fully optional area. What the fuck? You can give the other bit to his nephew? What, his innards? I guess that makes sense, actually. I sound, yeah, you know what, actually, that makes a lot of sense. Ah! Oh. Don't think that's the way you're supposed to go. Actually, yeah, we've been here before. I don't know where to go. I've forgotten where to go. So we found the lift. We go this way? Around here, okay. You'll figure it out. Oh, yeah, you know what? I see. Yeah, hey, little pot friend. Found your uncle dead. Don't know how. Anyway. Want some of his, like, stuff? Found. Totally found. If I was a... Ooh. That was a nasty dog. Alright, Gale. Why has Gale been reincarnated as dogs? At least they aren't the bleed dogs. My closest and most terrifying altercation with a bleed dog came when I ran into one on my horse and it killed my horse in a single hit. So luckily I survived, but my horse died horribly and very fast. I mean, at least we have a bleed glitch to counter them with. Oh, absolutely not. Let's find a Grace first. Bleed Dogs got patched a few days ago. Hallelujah. There we go. He has been resized. Okay, Sanctuary Stone, still don't know what they do. What is the point of me being here if not to get my ass whooped? Hello. Likely unnoticed visions of Talisman. Oh. Well, that's nothing to do with me. Okay, let's go and fight the boss. No Grace. That was cool. Ow. Ow. I will do that, Guna. Ah! Ah! Oh, alright. Well, I thought that was a boss, so I was obviously wrong. No Grace. Just a rude, rude man. Anything back here? Besides, like, Drossy. Quite a jump as well. Don't think that's something I can manage, but we'll have a go. Oh no, there we go. Right. Yeah, I would agree there, Scopes. Ah, lovely. So, when do we see more of Godric's faces? Oh, Godwin. Yeah, this place is particularly ringed. It's very floaty. The souls. I can't believe they patched the bleed dogs. I really enjoyed like the panic of the bleed dogs. Okay, I don't know what that is. What oh. I'll leave. That's he's got quite an aggro range. Oh, I can't. Shit. Did natural exploration show up? Oh, absolutely natural exploration. The no levels in this game are particularly complex. Like, there'll either be a dead end, even if that dead end takes 4 hours to explore. Most of the boss trophies are related to ones at said dead ends as well, so it's like you never waste time. Many of the optional bosses are surprisingly okay as well. No, you definitely don't need to do. Oh, I forgot to get flasks. No, you definitely don't have to do things in a specific order. There's like 1 or 2 things that you need to do, or need to make sure are like ready by a certain time. But most of the things you can kind of do as and when, as long as you don't like trigger the ending. Oh, sweet! It looks like Haligtree finished Persona 5. That's cool. That's a big one. I hate fighting flying things. Not Mog's. Right, I'm taking Mog's shackle off. Thank you, Guna. I see you perusing the channel reward points. Yeah, I think so, Kaz. I think it's quite late game. It'll probably be like at least after hour 40 if you're taking your time. So as you go, I'd probably keep an eye on stuff. There's one ending I think you need to. Thank you, Dark Souls 2. Am I right? Am I right? If you say not, get banned. I think you're largely okay, Kaz. It might be worth. Oh yeah, Sekiro's awful. Like the fact that you'd need, like, the woman praying by the Ashina Castle idol, you needed her for, like, the Rice ending. And the thing is with her is, like, you talk to her once, you know she doesn't really say anything, so you wouldn't really, I don't really imagine that you talk to her on another playthrough. So I think it's very easy to lock yourself out of that one for some reason. Oh yeah, I always get the Faram set, always. I remember in Scholar of the First Sin, it's tucked nicely under Drang Lake. Can't remember where it is on the original though. I think you probably have to buy it from the egg bloke. Yeah, super forgiving. Right, I'm going. I hate these birds. I don't even mind their moveset so much, I just hate trying to hit them. Is it? Oh, well maybe that's why I don't remember. Oh, sweet. That could have killed me. They call me the Dragon Slayer. They don't. Yeah, the wheelchair man. What's his name? It was like Dark Lurker Gremlin or something. His name's like Grimbo or Grunge. Dark Lurker... Grabby Hands. Can't remember. But I do know who you mean. Right. Oh! Dark Lurker crumbles, that's it. Oh my god, Dark Lurker was like so stressful. Because obviously you can only fight him per human effigies that you have. And he's awful, isn't he? I remember on PS3 version, I was very stressed because I was obviously new to the game and I was really struggling. I think I used almost all of my... I used all my human effigies. I had to go and buy all of the ones I could find. I almost ran out of them again, and then I decided to just put the game down. I was like, I'm obviously tilting. I'll put the game down, try again tomorrow. I came back tomorrow and beat him like second or third try, but I think I probably put about 20 tries into him. The worst thing about him is just that you need to have a human effigy. I was like, if you want me to be human, I can do that, because I can co-op with people and then I can like get humanity back, but... having to go and find a finite item. I mean, you can grind for them at the dogs, but like it's just not worth it. But I remember on Scholar of the First Sin, we played that on stream. It was like one of the first games I ever streamed. And I remember we got to the Dark Lurker, and I got invaded by somebody who had like lots of hacked stuff, and they were trying to... I managed to kill him. But he was dropping all sorts of bullshit, and he was trying to get me to pick it up. And I could tell that... I think I picked one of them up, and it was like 999 or something, and I was like, alright, this guy's got loads of hack stuff, I don't really want to have him in my game. But I remember I used all of my Estus fighting him, and then obviously we had to carry on to Dark Lurker, so I got killed. But every time... I always leave Dark Lurker right until the end, after I've done all of the DLCs, and then I go to him, like, level 150, with a... like... I always respec for him as well, so like, in one hand I'll have an Ultra Great Sword, and in the other hand I'll have a Pyromancy Glove. I always go to Dark Lurker like way too ready, and then have a really okay time with him, but I always get really stressed about him. First try is good, like the stress of doing the caverns at the same time, and like, which of the three ones do you pick to go and fight him at? Because I don't think I do Drang Lake Castle. I think I do the... what's... like the Foggy Woods place, you know? I think I find the... I think I find the enemies in that bit to be easy, because I think it's like 2 floors and there's like a pyromancer that's like the biggest problem. No, I do the one where... I do the one where like there's a Robin Hood type guy. And he's in front of a big bowl. There's a lot of big holes in the floor. But I can't remember which one it was. Yeah, I hate that one. That was the first one I ever found. And it's the one where it's like there's loads of water on the floor, isn't it? And there's loads of like deadly drops in the water. Which means that you're not only juggling Havel, which is not something you want to juggle because he's quite heavy, but you're also juggling the fact that anywhere you step is the wrong place, and obviously water slows you down. Like, that one's awful. That one's awful. I always just use Firestorm and just try and knock him in the water. I go in there with like no strategy. Ah. You. higher level? Obviously not. Yes, yeah. I used Firestorm. Never fought that guy properly. I think I tried to parry him once and he turned me into a pancake and I was like, yep. You know what? Maybe I won't try hard. Maybe I'll just oh, I knew there was gonna be a tree sentinel. I was like, this place is huge. Can't wait to see what tree sentinel's here. If you're a draconic one, you fuck off. Yeah. I don't often parry in games, so when it comes to points where it would be really beneficial to know how to, I'm like, I can't really learn how to do it now. Especially when you need human effigies to access that area. I had the same with Orphan of Cos. The only time I've ever learned how to parry was Martyr Ligarius, and I learned his parry, and that was it. Nothing else. If I play the game enough, I'll weirdly learn how to parry. I remember coming back to Dark Souls like the 9th time and just being able to parry for some reason. Just kind of got it by osmosis. Hey, that's what you get. Ah! Please don't hurt me. I can't wait to see this guy respawn. I think that would be the best thing. If he just respawned. That was my fault. That was my fault. Ah. Greed. I can take that. That was greed. Yes, because he walks out so slowly. Yeah. Metal Gear Rising's parry is really awkward. You have to flick the LS forward and press square at the same time. Is it one of those games where you have to flick it up no matter which way you're facing? So like if you're doing it to the left, you still have to press forward. Because those kinds of things really confuse me. I've played a few games like that where it's like kind of like tank controls but only with certain moves. I had that with Devil May Cry. Like there's one Devil May Cry 3 I remember having it really bad. That was my fault. Dark Souls 1 kicking. The amount of times I kick by accident is like if it's happened once, it's happened once too many, you know. Like when you're about to kill a boss and you see like 4 damage pop up on screen, you realise you've kicked him. You're like, oh god. Oh. Rising. Okay. I didn't realise there was a Metal Gear Rising. I knew there was a Revengeance. And I think I own 4. But I heard that it wasn't very good. Revengeance is Rising. Why? Rising Revengeance. Is that a joke? Oh, I see. Scepter! Thank you for the follow, Scepter. Welcome. Damn! Stop, stop, stop. Damn. Maybe we just run past. Maybe we just run past. I don't think I have the energy to kill something that won't give me a trophy. I'm here for clout. That's it. Oh, Dead by Daylight's trending. The 6-year anniversary is coming up soon. They said they're going to introduce a new killer. Very excited. Warg. It's cool to see a Coliseum you can actually go in. Save 30 quid with that bargain. Wow, Keks are not one to like not vigorously scalp when possible. I remember when PlayStation 5s came out, they were selling them for like 750 quid. I've seen this on I've seen this on a loading screen. Oh god, this guy's gonna kick my ass. Jeez. That is so dodgy, isn't it? Like, just because you're a company doesn't mean you can scalp. Crun? I guess so. I haven't, I don't actually know what endgame is, so I guess so, maybe. Oops. How's life, Crun? I remember Keks got in big trouble one time because they were like selling games they claimed to be a limited edition or like original cover. And what they were actually doing was printing the covers off and putting them inside the games. They were like pretending that the game was worth a lot more than it was. So they'd sell like exclusive covers of games, or games with exclusive covers for big, big markup. And then as it turned out, they were selling like essentially fakes. I guess, you know, the non-cynic in me was like, yeah, they were repairing them or they were well-intentioned and they wanted to give people, like, cool stuff, but they sold them for the value of, like, the actual product. After Melania, I just started using Haligtree. I will go back to Melania. She might be the boss that I summoned for. But I haven't decided yet. Oh! Oh, thank you. I'll see you soon, peeps. No worries. Enjoy Mandalorian. We melted his first thing.
Oh, death. Become
How long did she take solo, Kron? Ow. Yeah, I'm not seeing this. Whatever it is. Oh no, it's the dancer. So is he a demi-human? He looks like the ones, you know. I'm just gonna have a quick drink. Oh, he fights like Leonine. Oh, I rolled forward! Oh. That is so annoying. Oh, Malekith! Oh, I've heard of Malekith! I didn't realise this was Malekith at all. Okay. I've heard of Malekith. I've heard of him. I expected... Because I saw his trophy description, Malekith, the Black Blade, so I thought he was going to be one of the assassin guys, just in like an optional area. What's that grey on your health bar? Dunno. Just a lack of accountability, I guess. The grey on my health bar represents my inability to see my own faults and accept them. No, but for real, I have no idea. Oh. You know, if he hits you, he gains health. Mart, how are you doing, man? You know, if he hits you, he gets health back. Wow. Crazy. Oh my fucking Christ. That was very annoying. Oh. Big if true, Merv, big if true. Right, well, that was a bit bullshit, I guess, but okay. Man! That 500k I am bread. Love bread. He has like 3 health but 2 shots no matter what. He's quite strong. He's quite strong. He's quite strong. He's quite strong. He's good. But no. I Am Bread would be a huge game to have on the list. It would just probably be a huge topic in my future therapy sessions. I was hoping, because I definitely bled him into that second phase, I was kind of hoping it would wind him. Can't open and get the bleed glitch there, but get lost, you. I Am Bread as hell. The thing is, it's so weird because it's a 40-hour game, 40-hour plat apparently, according to skill and luck. I find it so weird that a 40-hour game can be like that hard. It's so because like Mirror's Edge plays 40 hours, and I've heard a lot of people say it's very hard. But I'm like, how? How? How is it that hard? If it's only 40 hours, is it hard? Is it like Crash hard, where it feels hard, but it's actually like normal? Ow. The controls are horrendous. Ow. I haven't finished Crash 4. No, I'm halfway through. I did the Cortex level. No, I'm on the Cortex level with the boxes in the snow place. And I can do the Cortex bit pretty okay, and then something will always kill me during the Crash bit, always on the Perfect Relic. I managed to get the speed run down, but the Crash bit always ruins me. Ow. Yeah. Like, I like the speedruns. The speedruns, I really enjoy them. Because, like, you just replay and replay and replay. And yeah, it does get a bit stressful towards the end of the level when you might actually do it. But it's just one of those where it's like quick restart, replay, restart, replay, restart, replay. The Perfect Relics are the ones that really get me. The Perfect Relics, having to do the entire mission without losing a single box, getting right near the end, 15 minutes in, dead. That's the stuff that really stresses me out. I don't mind the speedruns at all. I love speedruns. And hey, Irish, how you doing? But it's just something about the Perfect Relics. They really stress me. Well, by the time I finish one, I'll be like heart palpitating. You know, I'll be really anxious. I think he's gonna hurt me as I go through here. But yeah, I'll be super anxious. Just to the point where it just doesn't feel that worth it, because obviously I'm halfway through, I've got like 28 more to go. So I decided to take a little break, and then I just didn't go back to it, but I do eventually intend to finish it. Stop dodging so much, like, honestly. I get it, I can dodge too, I understand that, but... Your iframes are appalling, Malekith. Oh, boots are great, but I know what you mean. You get like some heavy winter boots and you're just like, you're in them. Heavy winter boots. Should be good for the calves though. Look at the state of you, Malekith. Look at the state of you. Why don't your attacks have appropriate windows to heal? It's disgusting. What is that from? Just got some DMs and I'm in the process of breaking them in. For some reason I thought you meant messages. Didn't know you meant Doc Martens. I've heard horror stories about Doc Martens. Apparently they are like prison for your feet until they're functioning. Wow, scopes, nice one. God, that Sentinel does try, doesn't he? Oh, fuck off. Hitting me behind him. That's enough from you. That is such a slow boulder. Maybe that's the point. You'd never expect a boulder to be slow. Yeah, he is Maverick. I kind of gleaned it because I remember going there with Sheppel and Scobie that time. They came around to my house and we all got drunk and wore face masks. It was so blessed seeing those two in their little rose face masks. But they took me to see Malekith back when he was Beast Clergyman, and I remember they made this very, very big deal of me speaking to him, and I had to give him some stuff. Before the bonfire, you spawn it close and hidden before it is another important boss. Alright, let's take a little break. But no, it was nice meeting the beast clergyman. People got too many names. Grank. Pam Pam Graham. Oh, I do own Journey. I still got it saved. Grank. Recusant Banal! Oh, what the fuck? Recusant Bernal. Okay. So we've got Malekith, or Recusant Bernal. Let's try Malekith. Malekith is more fun. Recusant Bernal is the guy from Volcano Manor, isn't he? Why is he mad at me now? Oh, there's another one. Alright, well I'll try one more, since I'm here. Recusant Bernal. Stop. That goes out all around him. Wait, I thought they were happy that I killed Wicked. Malekith, you're too fast. Stop. He does attacks I don't even expect. Christ. Christ! Let's try and find this hidden boss. Oh god. It's not there. I think that's where I came from actually. Heart's in the right place. Thank you, Shekel. Maybe I send the elevator up and see if I can nip underneath it. Oh. I can be on it. Okay. If it's not Mog 3, I don't care. Right, I'm just gonna run. Just gonna run. So we've beaten the fire giant today. We beat 2 optional dragons that we didn't need to kill. That's big. Beat Mog. We beat yes, Irish. We beat some other stuff. But we've beaten a lot of things, so I've got to keep that in mind before I tilt horribly off the face of the planet. How do I get to Blood Palace, out of interest? I'm just asking for a friend. Tilting's bad form. Oh, I've been this way. Alright. Ow. Hidden away close to a tree. Oh, that's cool. Ow. Ouch. Ah! Oh, okay. Now I see why these enemies are all over the place here, because they definitely prepare you for what Malekith does. Not quite enough, but definitely, you know. Alright, let's keep looking. So he's over there, I think. How do I get there? Okay. It's weird the Blood Palace is hidden. Maybe that's why Melinia's not gone there yet. Why did she never go and fetch Mikola? Like, if he's her brother and stuff, why did he not bother? Okay. Oh. Yeah, but like, she woke up right afterwards. This way. Yeah, I would have thought she would have like bothered. So strange. Oh yeah, you're right, this is the dragon. Yeah, it was hard to figure out where we were without the dragon. I suppose so, but she's clearly good enough to beat the shit out of me, you know. She's clearly, maybe she can't move far, I don't know, but just seems to be making a lot of excuses. What is this place? Oh. Ow! Yeah. Ooh. So I reckon I have to get under here. Let's see. Is there a place I can drop down here? No. Grace ahead. Warm. Okay, nope. How did people find this bitch? Alright, let's try, let's have a little look. Oh, it keeps looking like it's gonna be something and it isn't. Like, sometimes my sword goes through the wall, but it's just going through the wall. Okay. Well, I found one that said here, but it was it's a bit already there. Whee! Any graces? We got them. Yeah, this is very, like, pray next to the dragon altar and find your way over to that tower over there for me. Alright, Smooth, how you doing? Yeah. Smooth, Warrior Jar Alexander asked for a warrior's death, so I punched him to death. He had a good one though. He let me take his like guts away with him. With me, sorry. Behold God, no rump ahead. Look carefully ahead. Is it in this? I don't dare. Look at the graves. Okay. Oh. I was gutted. But thank you for giving me, like, your, like, jibs and stuff. I'll use them for fishing. This is quite an extreme way to travel. True though. True. I miss fishing minigames. Yeah, I've never seen this before. Wow. Yeah. How have I not seen this on our /shitty Dark Souls? Man's an egg. Any grace? No. Okay. Dragon Lord Placidusax. He looks cool. Ow! Oh, his tail's already been cut off. I don't know who King Ghidorah is. This guy looks brilliant. What the fuck? Stop! Stop it! Stop it now! No steak of Marika. That is some BS. There's no ass. There's no steak. Christ. I don't even know anymore, Smooth. Alright, we got 20 minutes left. Do we carry on with Malekith? Do we go back to Flaccid Sex? Do we have another go on Malenia? Do we try and find Mog? I cannot pick. I think it's a lost cause for now. Keith I was close to, but... Right, so... Irish has voted Malenia. Shekels voted Malekith. We've got 2 votes for Flaccid Sex. Okay, right. And the Jar Folk. Alright, we'll do the Jar Folk before I finish today, if I remember and can be bothered. Like, those are my 2 stipulations. Maverick always votes for the jar. Maverick's like, oh no, don't put me in the jar. I've shrunk myself down with this gun I found in the box. Oh no, don't put me in the jar. No, please, not me. Oops. Oh no, don't put me in the jar. Oh no, I'd hate it if somebody put me in the jar, said Maverick. It's gonna be this disgusting. Right, don't make me do this again. He looks cool. Why doesn't he attack me first? Is he just kind of chilling? Is he happy? Does his, like, existence directly impact mine? That looks like the bolt. Dargan. How you doing, yeah? right. Okay. I thought his head had come off. I'm like, in theory, that's kind of what I'm trying to do to him, but for some reason it frightened me. Oh, he's left. Okay. Yeah, it's pretty Elden. Ah! I've been really seen to. This guy's got moves. Please! Sorry. I shouldn't be alive. Don't do a lot of bleed, do I? I feel like the later bosses really, really resist bleed. Oh, I rolled so well through the physical there and still took the brunt of the magic. I'm under him. Oh, fuck off. Sorry. Oh god. Where is he? Ah! Oh, that's right. I'm leaving. Medea did that. Oh, wanker. But he's so big. He's so chunky. His body is like a fridge. Why are we killing him? Oh, don't you fucking do that. Right. That was close, but these guys aren't in the way and they don't seem to be doing anything bad. I'm just breaking into someone's house to kill them and take all their shit. We kind of are. Like, especially with the Nameless King. The Nameless King was quite right to be annoyed that we were in his house. Let's have a go for Keith. I don't mind flaccid sex, but Keith's closer. So instead of learning like one boss pattern, let's focus on 2 and completely burn out. Fuck off. Imagine being asked, God. Alright, Bookery, how you doing? Oh, take me back to Godskin duo. Swear to God. He's got a lot of roll-catching moves, while he himself cannot be caught. Ah! Good, thank you, Marie. How you doing? This has been a sort of bonding experience with my girlfriend who played the whole thing with me. It was constantly fascinated, horrified, befuddled by her insight and things about Japanese culture I had no idea existed. Valkyrie, I'm so glad you enjoyed Persona 5. I own Persona 5. But Scobies kept me well warned away from it. Scobies like, I think it would just push you over the edge. And I'm like, that sounds true. I think it would as well. So who is the Dragon Lord and why is he there? Why does... I just don't understand why he's there. Don't understand why we kill him, don't understand why he's there. I mean, I will, because I'll do anything for a trophy, but... I'm just confused. Oh, I hate that move. Be like Irish and practice self-care. That's not what I'm about, son. I'm about the opposite of self-care. Ow! Ow! Stop! 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 Malekith, please. Just 1 minute. Thank you. I hate that move because it's the only move that I can hit him reliably during. But obviously I take damage from it. It's his house and you're a dickhead. I like that. Really, Burgery? One JRPG that did win me over, and I do consider it a JRPG, was Okami. Hey, Mr. Rob. How you doing? Imagine if it was permanent reduction. I am a known anime disliker, to be fair. So why am I here? I think is my first question. Maybe even my last question. I don't know. Why am I here? Why have I come to Crumbling Faram? To take death to kill a god. Which god? Do I need to be here? Like, can you get an ending without this, or is this fully required? Stop! Oh god. I forgot. Garug, please! Oh, fuck off, man. The tree door will be open now that Melania set herself on fire. It will just take some time. Oh, so like, we could just let her die of old age, or what do you mean by take some time? Oh, it'll take some time to open the door. Wonder if it hurt. It doesn't seem like it hurt when she put herself on fire, but these Dark Souls NPCs have very weird ways of seeming unbothered by things. That was less than 10 seconds. So in the meantime, while it makes its way for us, we're here to grab death so we can actually go inside and kill Marika. Why are we killing Marika? Like, why don't we like Marika? Because Marika's never done anything to me. We're built different. Okay. Is that the reason? Because if it is, I'll accept it. It's simpler than any other answer. Okay. We just have to. Fair enough. Why not? Oh, Scobie. And you've only had sex once, so... A fleeting moment. Like a dream within a dream. I think that's enough. I think if I keep going, I'm just gonna tilt. So you know what? Let's leave the really, really nasty bosses until next time. Because all right, let's go to Jar Place. But Jesus fucking Christ, these guys are awful. These are awful. Oh God. Why don't you just shit in my hands, Miyazaki? Awful. Awful, awful, awful. Cuz. Yep.
Those awful poachers. Wow. Insights from Uncle Alexander. Thank you. Cuz I'm a warrior. I understand. Strong enough.
Deserves to have uncle's insides. Jesus Christ. What do you think Miyazaki's doing right now? Looking at feet pics? Getting turgid. You called him turgid, Tom? Yes, Maverick.
I'll begin my journey as a warrior, Jar.
You better
I think I'll see you again.
Oh.
Warriors are bye, and thanks for everything.
I thought he was gonna become my new warrior jar and we'd duo. Please give me your ashes. Oh, what's this? a buddy cop comedy. Raises potency of throwing pots. What the fuck? I've been shortchanged. Warrior Jar Alexander for this. Companion pot. Mark. Is that Lord of the Rings? Fair enough, Rob. Fight fire with fire and all that. Okay, well, I don't think I can do any more today without horribly tilting off the face of the planet, so I'm going to stop for now. But we'll come back and we'll get Keith, Placidusax, and Mog 2 next time. That sounds good. Or maybe I'll do some Resident Evil 8 for once, since we're actually supposed to be playing that right now. But if you enjoy the stream, please give me a follow. I'll be back in 2 days. In the meantime, I'm going to be working on a review. Hopefully I'll get that posted soon. But otherwise, have a really good night, everybody. Bye.